good, everyone, and welcome back to the Procrastinators podcast, where we dive into topics that matter to us adults. Today, we're going to explore three critical themes: priorities, Louisiana gun law, along with the great resignation. I'm Zilla, and on the right of me, not the right. Is it the left?
You're right. You know you're
Fuck.
right from your left. It's me, Star. Hey, y'all.
Yeah, my apologies. my apology again. Not gonna rust off, but we are excited that you joined us today for this podcast as a whole, and let's dive right into it.
Yeah.
So the first topic we're gonna delve into is priorities. Well, before anything, how you been? It's been a minute since we.
It's been a minute.
Yeah.
It's been longer than it's been hours.
Yeah,
days and months.
Hours, a couple seconds, milliseconds, couple frames.
I am doing well. I feel like I am trying to keep my head above the water right now, just in life, and just like mental health wise, just trying to work through just having a healthy mindset, because I feel like it's so easy to say like, oh, like keep your head up, stay focused, but I guess like you can say that, but as you're exercising, trying to like unlearn habits, it's like, it's like a constant conviction for me at least. Because I'm like, I feel like I should be here. Kind of like that FOMO kicking in, but it's like, all right, you're not there yet, and you're gonna have to be okay with that, and just doing what I can each and every day, really, to just like redefine happiness. And but besides that, like everything's good. I have nothing to complain about, really. I don't know. I'm just this summer heat now looking for. Oh, it's currently raining.
Yeah,
summer heat and rain.
Love it.
But in the meantime, I really just been catching up on movies and TV shows and stuff like that.
Good.
Yeah.
That's good.
What about you? How you been?
I'd say I'm definitely blessed. I'm definitely blessed. I would say the same as you. Unlearning old habits that were basically not part of the action plan of me pursuing my goals and ambitions and whatnot. I definitely did have to have that conversation with myself along with other people, and they definitely reminded me, it's like, you have that switch, you just need to turn that motherfucker on. We late in the podcast now, so I can start cussing a tad bit. All right. Outside of that, I get blessed. New job. I ain't gonna tell y'all where it's at.
Congratulations to.
Thank you.
Again.
Understanding I have more responsibilities than I thought I did. Excuse me. Excuse my cough. Again, I'm just getting over these trash ass allergies. Outside of that, again, I can't complain. Again, I can't complain.
That's
Happy, good. Just in a space to where I can start back working on that I took a break from for a minute. But as far as that, I'm great. But since now that we,
well, I was just gonna say like with new changes comes with like prioritizing, and like you say, you just got a new job, you just started a new job. And then just with personal growth, I feel like we're all changing every day in new ways, whether we realize it or not. Whether it's like changing habits or like learn behavior, and just like learning how to just keep everything going while there's change happening. And like I feel the same too, because like as these changes are happening, you get tired, or it might be a new sense of motivation, like a new level of excitement, just so much going on. And I guess just learning how to prioritize what matters in those moments.
I definitely agree with that. So what would you say are some priorities you definitely had to reconsider and put in as far as
I feel like, my current priorities right now are just looking for another job, to be honest, and like a career change, career growth, and like I said, my mental health. Cause like I'm not really happy working with where I am. So I feel like my priority is just like looking for new jobs, considering that, like, although I did get my bachelor's degree, because when I first graduated, I was like, nah, like, I don't want to go in this career field. I want to be a free bird. But now being a free bird has gotten me, like, I won't say it hasn't gotten me anywhere, but it's not as grounding. As I'm getting older, I'm realizing that, like, oh yeah, I have new bills. Like, I have to figure out what's going to pay the bills. And is it going to be this, this small job that I'm working? Not to diminish anybody's positions, but like...
It's never a small job if you enjoy it.
That's true. It's
never a small job if you enjoy it.
That's true. But not to say, like, for the lack of better words, like, to work in a job where you're not happy at, to working somewhere where you could feel a bit more satisfied and a bit more purpose in whatever you're doing, is like seeing what that looks like for me in my personal life, and having to balance just like my mental health and just trying to figure out how to be there for myself. And even when I'm not having the best day, or I'm like, how am I going to get this done, this, that, and the third, I'm like, all right, this is not, like, figuring out, like, what's not working anymore, what is working, what I want to take a risk on, and things that I could maybe, like, delegate to other people to do. So in the meantime, like, I have been doing photography, and I've been doing makeup, y'all.
Definitely peep that.
Stuff I've been kind of scared to do. And I'm like, I gotta pay these bills. So I feel like because I have been up, but like I've been having those challenges, it's kind of helped me to prioritize the things that I can do now and the things that are in my control, and working with that. So like, even with just like doing photography, prioritizing what I gotta get done, like things I didn't have to think about, stuff I had to buy like for the set, things that like, the gear, the camera, the batteries, like price lists and things like that, and even just editing and things, stuff that I didn't think that took time out that you might need, like, and even just investment in makeup and like going out and purchasing items or just different things like that, realizing even when those day comes, like, what are my priorities? Yeah, like, I don't know, I feel like too, just learning to keep an open mind.
You constantly have to remind yourself about that shit. You constantly have to remind yourself.
Because it's like, it can be tough sometimes, but it's not meant to be so harsh. Like, learning to laugh throughout each and every day. And even if I have to prioritize within those days. And something that I've been thinking about that's helped me is like breaking down my tasks. Like, I might get done something like the hardest task, I might get that done earlier in the week, so I don't have to worry about it later in the week. Or like things that are urgent, doing that first, and then whatever is not so important or not so urgent, doing that secondly. But whatever is harsh, kind of really just getting that out the way first, and then letting everything else kind of prioritize itself, or like even making a list of what could help guide me through the day that I'm having. Yeah. But like, I know, like you said, you started a new career.
I wouldn't say new career.
Well, new job.
It's a step towards it. I could definitely say it requires me to have how can I say this?
Like with the new changes in your life. Like,
yeah, I'm used to early mornings. As soon as I come, it's gonna be some bullshit. Well, not bullshit, but fast paced. Again, with this job now, it completely messed me up. not in the bad sense, but in the good sense. Just off of how it's a much slower pace in my eyes compared to what everybody else is on. It's calmer. Nobody's complaining. Everybody is held accountable of their own work. To be honest, again, I really can't complain about it. I'll say outside of work, I definitely realize, definitely the past couple of weeks, I cannot just go long periods without speaking to family. Again,
you can't go long periods without. You isolate yourself.
I would not. Again, some people think it's isolation. Me, I just call it being just being selective as far as where I put my energy towards everything, because I realize with myself, let's say somebody else is having a problem, and again, this is somebody I can consider a dear friend or family. For some odd reason, I would always take on other people's problems, and then that energy will fuck up my day. So, like, if this, let's say if Fatty Piss, for the people that watch, they know that if Fatty Piss, if he come to me saying, dog, like, this people piss me off, dog, I'm teed up. If you really my partner like that, then I'll be like, yeah, bro, I'm pissed too, man. Fuck them people. Again, now
But you know that TikTok sound. I don't know if you be on TikTok, but it be like, man, fuck, man, I'm mad too.
Facts.
It be like when somebody got your food right, but they got the other person food wrong, so you like.
Facts, like, you want to jump this stupid ass nigga? Like, I'm bleep that out. But understanding again that I do have responsibilities in other people's lives that I didn't consider. And understanding I'm at a viable role. I'm at a viable point to where it's definitely time for me to take on more responsibility. Like I said, rather that be financial, emotional, or again, simply just being there. And like I said, I have to constantly remind myself that, nigga, you mean a lot to other people. Because to me, it's like, oh, they'll be fine without me. They'll be straight. They'll be straight. Nah, y'all don't need me at all. Y'all fine. And then people tell me, it's like, nah, we need you here. We definitely need you here. So I can definitely say that has opened my eyes. Just the new strategies, how to deal with people, how to understand what they're going through, and of course in that process, use that advice to help myself in the process. But all in all, now I can't say my priorities, again, I'm at a good point to where I'm not too hard on myself, but for me, again, the priorities are still to, I would say, make sure that I'm able to take care of my mental health, along with working towards being able to take care of myself again. We're not gonna tell you our age, but we're young adults, and we can definitely express to you that everybody is doing bad.
We're millennials.
That's all y'all need to know. That's all y'all need to know. But again, as of right now, not everybody, but a good portion of people in our age group are definitely still trying to just figure it out and make ends meet as a whole.
And it's like, now that you say that, well, just hearing you say that, and as cliche as it sounds, like, you're not alone. And I feel like that's the thing that keeps repeating in my mind. It's like, you're not alone.
Facts.
Just hearing you say that, even from thinking like you're not isolation, but you are selectively choosing who you want to be around, or who to have your energy, or things like that. It's like, well,
I wouldn't say isolation. I would say preservation.
Preservation.
If that
he
makes
wants to say preservation.
Yeah, preservation.
So preserving your energy, protecting your energy.
Because y'all niggas weird.
Niggas do be weird though.
Y'all niggas weird.
I'm not gonna lie, but just being present and knowing that you are needed, you are important, you do matter. In times where it feels like, kind of subconsciously, and whether we're thinking about it intentionally, like, okay, well, maybe, is this working out like I thought it was? And maybe I don't think that people see me in the way that I see them.
That part.
Sense. Yeah,
that part.
Having to not dwell or overthink on those things versus just, being present.
I definitely say that.
Yeah.
Oh, also another priority that I forgot to mention was also being opening myself back up to new experience and opportunities. I could definitely say after some time to think and reflect as a whole, things have weirdly shown up when I needed them to. And like I said, first reaction is like, oh wow, it's just okay. Appreciate it, God. All right, cool. And then just realizing as a whole, it's like it's not just those specific moments. It's every single opportunity as soon as you go throughout the day. And I say it's just getting back to that and not wasting any moves.
Yeah.
That's like people say, treat life like chess, not checkers. Again, no wasted moves. Even if there is wasted moves, there's a lesson in it.
Yeah.
And you're supposed to learn and grow from it, not beat yourself up and say, woe is me. Now, again, there's nothing wrong with that either. Just don't sit in shit, because then you'll start to smell like it. But
I feel like that's a good point. Not to be all holy and stuff, but
self-sanctified and shit.
but it's more like you can
Self-righteous,
plan. You could, because this is what I think about. You could plan. You could be strategic. You could have plan A through Z, and sometimes it still doesn't go your way, or it still doesn't go the way that you thought it would. So I guess it's like a matter of, like, managing how to get back up, or even managing how to get back up and pivoting, like, in those moments. Like, because I don't know, like, God knew who we was before we was formed in a womb, and he had a plan for us, and we do have free will. But, like, just we could plan all we want, and things still might not go our way.
That part.
But I guess it's like, just
And
like, so, like, I feel that way too. Like, for me right now, I am relearning what fun looks like. I'm redefining fun, because before I used to thought, well, my fun was like going out to a party with my friend, drinking, and now it's kind of like I don't really feel like drinking no more. Or like, I'll have some wine. Ask anybody. I'll sip on some wine. I'll sip on some champagne. I might take 1 or 2 shots. But now I'm definitely a lightweight.
Oh.
And like, I went out recently.
Appreciate that, OG.
me and my boyfriend went out recently. It was just so weird. It was so weird because I feel like I didn't really socialize. And it's like, how do you socialize when, I don't know, I guess like you haven't been out in a while, or like been in like social settings, and
It's this thing called wave.
I mean,
It's this thing called wave.
I guess it's still like integrating around other people without small talk, if that makes sense.
I get what you're saying.
And it's like, now since I've been either at work or just working on my own projects or inside, it's kind of like I wouldn't say I'd be scared. I'd be a bit more hesitant to go outside without having to look over my shoulder. And, for reasons that make sense.
That does make sense.
Yeah, we live in New Orleans, where you kind of just don't know what to expect when you walk outside.
Yes.
But that's anywhere, to be honest.
True. That is true.
Just, there's so much happening in the world, so much going on, to where it's like, what's going to happen next? And I hope that it doesn't like take away the fun the moment that I do decide to step out. Because like now, it's currently Friday, June 28th, 2024. And Louisiana will be having a new gun law go into effect July 4th, 2024. And that current gun law states that anyone 18 years or older can carry a concealed gun without a permit or without training. And what the law was before, what the current gun law is now, is that no person could carry a concealed firearm intentionally without a permit unless one is a peace officer with official duties.
The fuck is a peace officer?
I guess like a police officer, someone who is like, who has a reason to kind of have a gun, like a security guard, like police officer, like people like that, you know.
Peace
officer.
I'm not. I'm not calling the top flight security a peace officer now. Then again, though, that sounds like an insult. I might use that. I definitely might use that. A peace officer, officer of peace.
Yeah. Okay, wait. It says, well, it's like the same.
So basically, anybody on patrol. You could be Paw Patrol.
Yeah. Okay. Look. So it says
Canada.
The Criminal Code of Canada. I guess I don't know if it makes sense for U.S., but the definition of peace officer according to Canada is a peace officer includes a mayor, warden, reeve, sheriff, deputy sheriff, sheriff's officer, and justice of the peace. Be a member of the Correctional Service of Canada who is designated as a peace officer pursuant to Part 1 of the Corrections and Conditional Release Act. And a warden, deputy warden, instructor, keeper, jailer, guard, and any other officer. So people like that.
So basically, a peace officer is anybody in public office, basically.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, pretty much.
By public office, do mean city hall and all that other stuff for the people that don't understand that. But
yeah.
So you basically telling me Contrell could have been out in this thing toting the whole time? Let me stop.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm going to have to bleep that out too. Shit.
Are they not allowed to carry guns?
I mean, it's an amendment. It's in the Constitution, so I think it wouldn't be an issue.
Definitely not now.
Hey, shoot, chitty, chitty, bang, bang.
Definitely not now.
These niggas think they Lone Star Ranger and shit. Fuck around and go outside.
Everybody about to be outside for real. Toting a gun. I ain't saying everybody. People who are 18 years or older. People who are 18 years or older.
I'm everybody.
Out here toting a gun. And there are some restrictions, though, on who can and cannot have. There are gun ownership restrictions that comes with this law.
What are some of those restrictions, if you don't mind me asking?
So, people who are out of state, right?
Okay.
They must be 21 years or older, and they must have a permit or license from their home state.
Okay.
And regarding criminal convictions for crimes, people who have any felonies, if they've been convicted if they've been convicted of domestic violence, if they have any restraining orders for threats of violence, people who have been dishonorably discharged from the military, people with history of drug abuse, and people who are mentally incompetent by law.
That's understandable.
They are restricted from gun ownership.
So if you're a felon, you can't carry. Ooh. All right. Ooh. If you're a felon, you can't carry. If you're out of state, you can't carry without a permit. Mm-hmm. If you're an idiot, you can't carry. What was the other one you said?
If you have any restraining orders, if you've been dishonorably discharged from the military.
Ooh, that's gonna hurt the crazy baby mamas. Okay.
If you got history of drug
baby mamas, baby daddies, if y'all got them restraining orders, you better not be in, 50 feet?
Yeah.
50 feet?
50 feet or 100 feet. I think, what is it?
It depends on the crazy. I think it definitely depends on the crazy.
It depends on the severity of, like, the relationship and the dispute.
So that means, so let's say, again, crazy male or female. Again, we do not judge because both sides are crazy. Anybody. If they get caught, they think, oh, no. I'm about to say, they think, oh, they just going to tell me, sure, away. And you come back, oh, now you're in handcuffs in the back of a, damn.
And it's like, I don't know, it's like, I feel like that gives me a mindset that I guess it adds reason to it being, I guess I feel more safe. I feel more
Understandable.
safe. Like it's like on both sides. Like I would feel more safe knowing that these people are restricted from having guns, or like even if they have a gun, I guess their sentence, their criminal consequence would be more harsh. But I don't know. It's just like I feel like it's just interesting to see where it's all gonna go because there's just so many what you can and can't do, which makes sense. That comes with the law. Like I read from an article where it was discussing the law itself and stating how there's Senator Blake Miguez, the Republican from New Iberia. He has a bill that makes the new law applicable to all firearms, not just handguns. For example, and I'm reading from the article.
Yeah.
From this article by Greg LaRose. And it just states that, not just all firearms, not just handguns. So a shotgun would be legal to carry concealed, but sawed-off shotguns are illegal in Louisiana and wouldn't fall under the expanded law. For the second part of this law, the bill would allow concealed firearms in restaurants that serve alcohol. And restaurants is like places where families eat, as long as the businesses don't make more than 50% of their revenue from alcohol sales. And thirdly, the bill will allow businesses to be penalized if they deny entry to an off-duty police officer carrying a concealed gun. The proposed fine could reach $1,000 per occurrence.
So you tell, all right. So I can carry where there's liquor being served.
And it's so, cause like, what if you're out somewhere and there's someone who has...
What could possibly go wrong?
You know what I'm saying? Then they got their gun on them, they get in a heated argument, they start shooting.
You gonna let that motherfucker sing like Whitney?
They start shooting, like...
And the other thing I'm thinking about right now as a whole, because you already know the fact we got state troopers basically... A large presence down there. Because everybody's been getting pulled. If you don't have no tag, you're getting pulled. If you think you're about to be through this thing like Speed Racer X, and you're getting pulled over. And if I'm correct, the law that I think it was a city law that NOPD cannot chase nobody. Now it's the thing to where it's like, all right, cool, we could chase them if Louisiana state troopers on your ass, they can follow and pursue also.
I mean, that makes sense.
Again, I'm not against it. I'm all for it. Lock them up. I ain't gonna lie. Y'all young dudes that out here think y'all untouched, yeah, crash out in jail. See how that shit follow for you. But outside of that, the only thing I'm possibly thinking of this is, how will this be enforced as a whole, and how will it be implicated, especially since I know New Orleans definitely was in the discussion of talking about safe zones where there are no firearms at all.
Yeah, so that still applies to like schools, churches, I believe like definitely not hospitals, but schools, churches.
Hospitals consider federal buildings, so you can't bring a gun in there regardless.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then like the courthouses and other facilities like that. But I feel like they should definitely keep that. But when it comes to, I don't know, just being out in public and restaurants but I mean, that makes sense because it's not like, okay, children are here. Well, I take that back.
Well, nowadays, again, in New Orleans, you got to worry about the children robbing your ass too. So, if we're being honest, quite honest and frank.
I mean, that makes sense though, because why are you bringing a gun to a school? But yeah, okay. But if we going out to eat or something, I would like to bring my gun if I feel the need to bring my gun. Man,
we are going to Dragos. You gonna shoot this charbroil? You about to shoot this shrimp? No,
niggas
dog.
Don't care these days. They don't care where you at. You could be at Fogo de Chao, nigga. Will.
If somebody pull up on me at Fogo de Chao's, what did I do to piss that man off? That's the first question. That's a nice spot. You gonna catch me getting some filet mignon cut, and I got a bullet on my shoulder.
Hey, niggas don't give a fuck these days.
Yeah,
people don't care. Nigga don't care where you at. That's what I've learned.
It's never that.
I have learned from people who be crashing out. They don't care what time. They don't care what place. They don't care who it is. They gonna let you know. Don't fuck with me.
Stay away from me. Y'all kind of people stay away from me, please. I don't want no smoke. I will call the cops. I'm not fighting you. I'm not fighting you. But the fuck I look like fighting somebody. Now the only thing that I would say or possibly bring up, again, as far as kind of playing the devil's advocate, would they make an exception for nonviolent offenders? Is that my thing? Now again, that may sound stupid, but we all know the court system has definitely not had 100% accuracy ever. Let's say, for example, somebody that got their record expunged or anything, do you think they should be allowed to still carry?
Yeah, they got their record. I feel like, I don't know, I feel like if they got it expunged, if they are right, I feel like they should be able to. They just gonna be on watch,
definitely.
Or
I definitely agree with that. A watching period of what you say, a full year.
Yeah, like a however long parole or probation lasts, and then until that's over, they could carry. But I feel like, I don't know. I feel like they should be able to carry the gun if they've been expunged. If everything's clear, everything's all set, then it should be like, what's the problem? I don't have nothing on my record. But for people who have felonies, or even for, like you said, like the question was, what about, what's the exception to the rule? I feel like if everything's been clear, if there hasn't been any crime done within a certain amount of time, you should be able to carry a concealed weapon.
I agree.
Because I feel like if anything, too, because what they're also trying to do, I don't know, I forgot if this is final, but they're trying to restrict this gun law from happening in a CBD and in a French Quarter. They don't want people 18 years or older having to tote around a concealed weapon in that area. But I say, let the people be free. If they good, I don't know. What you think?
What do I think as a whole with the gun law? In my opinion, they definitely just making it easier to lock kids up at this point. Because one, you still have the DA's office that's still in question a little bit. You got state troopers, FBI, and other federal agencies that are starting to involve themselves as far as with tackling crime in the city. I'm definitely looking at this as an easy way just to lock people up. Again, of course, the ones that don't deserve it, I hope y'all get a great lawyer and all that stuff. But for the youngins that's out here really toting like that and not getting any kind of consequences or repercussions, again, with every decision comes a consequence. So it's a shame. It's a shame that it has to be you. But at the end of the day, I feel as if people in the city are just sick and tired of, it don't matter where you at, your shit gonna get broken into, and it's not guaranteed they're actually gonna take something. So now I just got a broken window. People don't know, but Bourbon Street is probably one of the most dangerous spots in the city.
Especially when Super Bowl gets here. I feel like they're all trying to put this into effect because of upcoming events and just moving forward the state of Louisiana and gun violence. And it's like, I do feel like that too. It's going to be easier to lock people up to have a reason. Because it'll be like, why you got this gun on you in the first place? Or, you younger or older. If you've been convicted of a felon, I read too that you get harsher criminal consequences if you are a convicted felon who is carrying a concealed weapon, and they take the firearms away from certain teens who use guns during a violent crime. 15 and 16-year-olds wouldn't be allowed to legally possess a firearm again until they turn 22, with the exceptionality of young licensed hunters. But my thing is too, I read that, say if you a convicted felon, but you good and you got the gun on you, You didn't use a gun, but you were at a scene where there was a violent crime, and you probably weren't involved. You'll get sentenced because you had that gun on you. And I forgot what else I read, but it's just situations like that where it's like situational based things, where it's like.
Don't forget the Terry stops too.
The Terry stops?
Stop and frisk.
Oh.
So from what I'm reading per NOPD Terry stop policy, officers may only conduct stops where there is reasonable suspicion that a person is engaging, or is about to engage in criminal conduct. Now, my thing, again, you have NOPD plus state troopers. What is them to stop, let's say, some young adult black guy that may be walking down Bourbon Street, just that he may be visiting the city just to visit family, and they say, okay, let's go to Bourbon Street and whatnot, and let's say they again stop and frisk just off of plausible cause. You might not even have a bulge in your pockets, back pockets, or nothing. It could be your phone, and just off of that plausible cause, they could be like, oh well, he has a gun. This is a safe zone. Ship his ass. Now again, I hope it doesn't come to that kind of case, but these are definitely things that need to be at least brought up in conversations as far as possibilities.
I don't know, man. I just think it's going to be very interesting to see where everything goes from here, and see if the crime rate increases or decreases. If they locking up people who actually need to be locked up for having a gun, because of these gun laws, and I just pray that no one gets harmed in the making, or even gets wrongly persecuted.
That part, but I ain't never seen a gentle arrest in there in my life.
That's true.
I ain't never. Please get on your knees. Please, hands behind your back. We appreciate it dearly. Nah, fuck no. But all in all, I hope there's definitely some more clarity as far as how procedures will go if somebody is suspected of having a gun, and that, of course, before that, this shit don't get too out of hand to where we basically have to continue dealing with the same problem with policemen, as we always have.
Do you think you could be a police officer?
Dang, dog. You about to
Shout out to Kaj.
I'm about to say, damn.
I hope we make your job easier.
Kai's like, fuck y'all boys. I know Kai's be like, fuck y'all boys with a burning passion. And this is no offense to Kai's. Again, my bearded brother. I couldn't be a cop. Boop, 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 boop. The great.
Yeah, so that was my segue into the job market.
The job market?
Yeah. So asking could you see yourself being a police officer, and
Gotcha.
what does that have to say about the job market? Because there's not a lot of need going to degree years.
That's why I fuck with you. But to answer your question, again, shout out to Kaj, my bearded brother. I could not be a cop, just because off the fact I know they don't pay y'all enough for the bullshit y'all have to go through on a daily basis, especially with our people.
It could be anybody. Don't do us that.
I love us, but we our own worst enemy. But y'all gotta, the number definitely has to go up in order for me to even consider. Again, you know me. I don't quit jobs. I definitely resign. But all in all, the reason we brought that up is because currently there is a great resignation going on. For the ones that don't understand what that means, a resignation is basically you saying, I politely quit.
And what does that look like?
Well, as far as a resignation?
Well, it started in 2020, really.
I say around.
Numbers started growing up around COVID.
I say around COVID.
So, what did that look like?
As far as the
just
trend?
Just returning to work, just like a polite, I'm leaving.
As far as what the great resignation is, right now it's a trend where a lot of young adults, I'll say between 20 to 35, they really leaving their jobs because after the pandemic, a lot of people, not just young adults, definitely realize there's more to life than just work. And it definitely led to a lot of people reconsidering the careers they were in. And right now, again, companies are definitely feeling it, because I tell you, people leaving.
People are leaving left and right.
Left and right.
And I think what makes a difference too is like, okay, boomers and other generations before us they had kids early and they had to stay with the job that they had. It's not like they could easily quit a job because they had responsibilities. But I feel like now as young adults, we realize that, oh, hey, I don't really have no children. I don't really have no bigger responsibilities. So if I have it in me to quit, I'm going to quit and walk out today. I ain't putting in no 2 weeks. Like, I'm going to leave right now in this moment because people are not feeling fulfilled.
Nope.
And why do they need to take anyone's BS on a job when they could just go somewhere else or take their skills elsewhere? And yeah, I just think it says a lot about our generation that like we're not willing to put up with anything for the sake of making money, especially if a company isn't paying you a lot or they don't respect you as a person or whatever your values are. If it's not being aligned, then we kind of just like, fuck it.
Nah, that part. I could say, now, the reasons why people should be paying attention to it, it's a lot more than people realize. It could favor you while y'all playing, because the fact that people are leaving jobs, they try to put crossed on my words. They basically try to put more money in y'all pockets. Companies literally just trying to boost up their salaries and perks benefits to attract people. Now, as far as how that's going, again, I will let y'all in the comment section. Let me know again whether you working remote, whether you're actually in person, or if you're hybrid. Again, please let us know how things are going, because again, just because shit may be bad in New Orleans, it may not be bad out in Denver or Colorado. And again, you saying something about it could put somebody on game and they could apply out there. But of course, companies right now, they bumping up their salaries along with benefits. They basically try to pull out the red carpet of bullshit to pull more people in. But it's all about another reason why it's also good, again, which I definitely feel like boomers, I wouldn't say have a disgruntled against millennials, but they definitely
Gen Z is like after us.
On some shit, technically, I'm Gen Z since I'm 98. Unfortunately.
Oh, yeah.
Unfortunately, so, hey, stop talking about my people. But it's one thing boomers and millennials definitely don't agree with is work-to-life balance. One side feels as if work till the day you die, and they'll take care of you. The other side says, we saw y'all do that. Y'all still waiting for them to take care of y'all. We're not going for that bullshit. So definitely, I definitely say this is, I would say, somewhat open the eyes of companies and understanding you can't just talk to people any kind of way and work people to damn near to death.
But do we expect them to really change that? Or because I feel like with corporations, they're not going to be like, oh, I'm sorry that I wrote this email and this came off like this. It's kind of like you got to change.
Nah.
And I think what it is like we're just refusing to conform. So like people are they're becoming more, there are more entrepreneurs. I don't know, I feel like because it's like, those corporations either will go out of business from not having many employees?
It depends on the section. It depends on the section that it's in. Majority of the resignations have came within hospitality more than anything, though. Again, which is completely understandable. Individual that definitely work
in hospitality. People ain't shit.
Boy,
let me
fuck
tell
y'all.
You. And that's anywhere, but in hospitality, when you really talk to people,
look in the camera and tell them that shit.
When you really talk to people and you see where they at, and you just be like, damn. This is really a humbling experience, because I don't know, it make you won't bring out that gun. You know what I'm saying? Not saying that's what I would do, but allegedly, for anyone who's having a hard day in hospitality or whatever in that field, when you have the conversations you have with people or just interactions with people in general, and even in the workplace, it just, I don't know. It's like a revealing. What do you call it? It's just revelations.
Revelations.
On revelation.
I agree. You be having people that book their hotels, that book the Ace Hotel through Priceline on the sale.
Now you gotta say something else. Don't say that. Don't say that.
I can't.
No.
Shoot. Shit. I'm gonna bleep that one out.
You won't be sued in it.
Sued. Yeah. But all right. So let's basically say you have individuals that may book their hotels through third parties. Again, which I don't disagree with. I do the same shit. But there's a certain amount of respect you need to have for the people that work there. I understand. Yes. Again, their boss, if they have a job they're supposed to do, don't mean you got to be a dick. You don't. Again, if it's as simple as saying, if you see a cart, if you're coming down the hallway and you see the lady that's coming out cleaning the room, and you see her on one side, what in God's green earth would tell you, let me keep straight dead in the middle of the hallway? Nah, move out the lady way. My apologies, man.
Yeah, I think it's just a level of authority that people have that they think you're supposed to bend and back down for them for any requests. And even if you don't do it or if it's against policy, they will pay their way into doing things.
Mm-hmm. How that Friday scene went, you gonna go in this place, you gonna act, you gonna treat people right. I ain't gotta do shit. But saying that all in all, first, of course, they're looking to pay people more. They're looking to give you better benefits. But it's all, again, also don't take the okie doke with them. Again, at the end of the day, your job shouldn't feel like a job. It should definitely feel. I wouldn't say like a hobby, because there's some seriousness you should take. You should take to something that you love. But again, there should also be a level of respect when it comes to you working said jobs. Of course, for the ones that are working 9-to-5s and whatnot. The entrepreneurs, of course, you deal the same goes with entrepreneurs too. So again, regardless of the fact, of course, look out for it. Definitely keep a lookout for these jobs. Now, the last reason, I'm gonna be honest with you. Somebody told me this. It's to unlock exciting skill building opportunities. Now, there definitely is some truth to this. Just off of how I look at jobs as a whole, I look at them as opportunities to learn new skills that you can apply to other jobs that are going to pay you more. Because if you think the ideal of loyalty with the company still stays, you're going to be stuck there forever, constantly getting royally fucked over. The best advice I can give to anybody is let's say you have aspirations to work with something. See if there's an internship or an entry job that you can work to either observe and learn the skill, and just, like I say, apply that to something different. What they about to say, one job may be paying you, another job may offer you something completely more. Completely more. Again, I'm not saying that's always going to be guaranteed, because again, corporate America, capitalism, they're going to do what they please regardless. But I would definitely say I would treat jobs as stepping platforms to learn skills that you can apply to other jobs that can definitely generate you more money.
Yeah. Can I add to that?
Sure.
And also keep in mind that jobs are what they are. They're just jobs.
Facts.
And don't settle. Don't let anybody, maybe that's why we just resigning. Because we have the mindset, how I'm thinking is I ain't finna let nobody stress me out. Or you got these, or you could be the best employee and still not get rewarded or in a way that you are looking for from your job, or whatever you're looking for from your job. You might be working hard and might not get that. So it's don't settle, and you definitely don't have to pour your all into that job. You don't have to feel stressed. You feel like you could take the skills that you learned, even if it's social skills, even if it's conflict resolution skills, even if it's, mathematical skills, whatever it is, learning how to network, things like that, you definitely can take your value to another position, to another company. Mm-hmm. And then, if you are someone who doesn't want your life to revolve around work, then definitely have those hobbies that could result into passive income. And then that way work your 9 to 5 or whatever it is isn't as stressful, but you have other things going on as far as that work-life balance and mental health. Like, make sure you have things going on that, that job may be funding your hobbies, or it may be funding, a certification or a skill that you want to pick up and take somewhere else. Like, investing in yourself. Continue to invest in yourself.
I thought you was about to say
Yeah,
no.
that was
That's all you had?
Yeah.
That's all you had?
Yeah.
Well, shoot, that's gonna wrap it up. That's basically gonna wrap it up today for today's episode. Again, we thank y'all for joining the Procrastinators podcast. We thank you for joining us today at the Procrastinators podcast. We definitely had an insightful discussion on priorities, Louisiana gun law, along with the Great Resignation. And remember, setting clear boundaries, setting clear priorities is essential for navigating life's challenges along with pursuing your goals.
As for Louisiana gun laws, understanding both the risk and benefits are crucial in shaping informed opinions and contributing to meaningful discussions. So yeah, keep having those discussions, especially with your family and your friends, as it concerns everyone in the community. And finally, the Great Resignation reminds us to prioritize our well-being and seek workplaces that align with our values. So stay tuned for more episodes where we dive into topics that matter to you. Until next time, take care and keep striving for what matters most in your life. And remember, stay lazy. Thank you for listening.